everybody, yet again. It is Sandman Slim and Wing King Tzar here with episode 2 of That's Entertainment Podcast. And it is October, so we figured, as we mentioned last time, we're going to be doing a sort of Halloween-themed, spooky kind of podcast talking about all that stuff, so it should be a lot of fun. We got some movies lined up, some books, some games, and just talk Halloween in general. But without further ado, we'll get on to some spooky movies and kind of go from there, man.
Do it, definitely. Spooky movies. Well, Halloween movies. He keeps
Halloween
calling them
movies.
spooky, but they're not all spooky.
Ha!
I figured I'd give a list of some of my favorite movies to watch during Halloween. And the top one right away, have to watch it on Halloween, is Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Of course.
Of course, you got to. It's tradition. I mean, they still run the movie in theaters at 12 o'clock at night, where people go dressed as the characters and doing a bunch of stuff during the movie, along singing with it and taking water guns and newspapers and stuff like that, toilet paper, and just interacting with the movie. It's one of the greatest experiences you can ever have in a movie.
And they do, live,
Yes, they do.
like
They do.
almost musical stuff with that too. And the nice part about that movie is it's almost like it's comedic horror.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's not even like something to be like scared
It's
about.
not scary.
It's a classic. It's like
It is
it's
a
from
classic.
70, right? 1970,
Something like that.
Originally,
Originally, yeah. Well, first it was a theater,
right?
English theater, I believe, not Broadway or anything, but
Most shit was from England. Let's be honest.
yeah, that's true. And the one person who came over, besides the guy who wrote it, directed, and starred in it, I forget his name, Brian something.
Mhm.
Tim Curry, one of the greatest actors of all time, was in the theater and then came to do the movie as well. And of course, our own lovely Meatloaf is also in it.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
No.
He is Eddie.
I didn't know that.
Yep, he's Eddie. Meatloaf
Shit.
is Eddie. And here's an interesting story about it. When they were doing hiring for the movie,
Mhm.
the auditions and everything, they brought him into audition and they're like, "It's okay if you can't get every word of the song out." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Most people can't get all the words out." He's like, "Watch this," and just starts singing it right then and there. Nails every word.
Wow, dude.
Well,
I
it's
didn't know that.
Meatloaf. It's Meatloaf. He can nail almost everything.
That's true. But Tim Curry is like, not to go too deep, but he's also just like, as you said, a great actor. He's in
Yes.
so many, and voiceovers too.
Yes, he did.
So I can't believe he's 75.
Yeah, and in a wheelchair now,
Is he really?
unfortunately. Stroke, I believe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
But so
Absolutely.
many great movies from him. So many. And a lot of them could be on this list, but we had to go with the one. So, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Absolutely.
Movie number 2 would be one of my favorite movies, Zombieland. And the sequel, of course, Double Tap.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go with Shaun of the Dead, but that's more of a rom-com zombie horror thing, and I just wanted to go with just horror
Yeah.
or Halloween-like. So I figured Zombieland has comedy to it, but not any romantic crap in it to kind of help get away from that.
Sure.
Starring, of course, Woody Harrelson, another great actor that we talked about before in the last podcast about other stuff. Obviously, zombies trying to kill everyone and eat everyone. What I found interesting about the movie was the list, the rules. Cardio, double tap, passenger seatbelt, shit like that. I just found it kind of like, who would fucking do that? But it makes sense.
It does make sense, and these are the kind of movies that I feel are really, they're ones that I don't mind watching. They're not, and me personally, I'm not going to watch them nonstop. But the story about extended road trips, whether they're zombie things like this or they're like comedic, they just, I don't know, they're those feel good, not like tug at the heartstrings, but they're just feel good ones. Like, yeah, you're gonna get a kick out of this and
Yeah,
have a good time.
exactly. Exactly.
And of course, the beautiful Emma Stone is
Of
is
course.
in this as well.
Definitely.
So
Oh, yeah. Gotta love her.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a good movie.
Yes.
One that I have not seen the sequel, so I definitely would want to.
The sequel is great. And, of course, Bill Murray is in both. I will not give away the second one from you, though. because
Yeah, the great Bill Murray.
Murray. It's gotta love the Bill Murray. All right,
Nice.
let's on to the third one here.
Sure.
This one I guarantee you did not watch.
Nope.
Train to Busan.
So tell me premise of it, and let's. I'll tell you
It
what I
is.
think.
I think it's either Korean. It's an Asian film. I think it's Korean that did
Okay.
it. So it's in subtitles, and it's about zombies. But these zombies are like fucking just out there, fast, just wanting to devour everything they can.
Hmm.
One of the best zombie movies for actual horror, where it's just scary and you just what the fuck is going on kind of a movie. One guy is trying to get to his daughter, or has his daughter with him, and is taking a train to get the fuck out of the city before he gets eaten alive, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the whole movie is based on, is just all the zombies in that train, in that small space, and as he's trying to get away from the city.
So is it following multiple different like stories and people, or is it just the one guy?
It's mostly just the one guy, but there's a few other side stories along with it.
Nice. That sounds
And
like
they
a
actually made a
interesting.
sequel to it too, but I have yet to see the sequel.
Hmm. Is it kind of like is it like World War Z? Was that the one that
Kind of.
came out somewhat recently?
Yeah, that was it was actually I think they both came out around the same time period, so a couple years apart maybe.
Yeah.
But what was he type? It was typely like that, fast and just running around just eating people.
I.
Kind of like Dawn of the Dead from Zack Snyder, kind
Yep.
of fast as well.
Yep.
What's another one? 28 Days Later. Even though I do not consider that a zombie movie. Sorry for all you fans out there. It is not. It is a virus movie. They are not dead. You shoot them in the heart, they die.
Now I
It's not a
now
zombie.
not to get off track, but I wanna. I wonder if there is, and maybe people can comment or message us about it, unless you know. But is there a zombie type movie where the zombies? It's kind of an oxymoron here, but they're semi-intelligent zombies, but they're still zombie-like.
Warm
And
body.
what's that?
Warm body.
Warm body. Okay.
Yeah, never seen it, but I know he's somewhat intelligent in it. I mean, he has a romance with a human.
Yeah.
Got to have some kind of intelligence to do that. So, but I've never seen it, so I'm not 100% sure what the movie's about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into the intelligent zombies in the books.
Sounds good.
All right, on to the next one.
Yep.
All right, of course we had to include A Tales from the Crypt,
Of
Demon
course.
Knight. One of the best movies from Tales from the Crypt is Demon Knight. They had three movies, but Demon Knight is the best. Um, Basically, ancient war against God and the devil.
Mhm.
Not really God, but a guy who blessed Scott, a guy so he can fight for him. Against the demons who want to collect all the keys and make it completely dark on Earth so they can take it back over.
And
Phenomenal movie.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, one of those that really gets you thinking about, um, you know, the whole good versus evil shit, and
Yes.
that kind of stuff is always like, especially when you bring in like zombies and like different types of like, I'm almost thinking of like the TV show like Angel and things like that. It's always like
Yeah.
very draws you in and like, I don't know, it holds on to you and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, the
But
story is phenomenal. You got to give it to the writers for that. And of course, it has my favorite character of all time, the Crypt Keeper.
when are they going to make him in the Dead by Daylight?
Oh, that would be so sweet.
I mean, let's be honest.
His
The
his 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 Maury could be him using the guillotine on someone.
and let's be honest. The he had have to probably drag him to the guillotine, but
Yeah.
the the amount of like money they'd have to pay for that is probably
Oh
not like
God,
that high.
it's outrageous.
Compared to Resident Evil, like
Oh
and all that
God,
stuff.
War Pinhead.
Right, exactly. So,
But
also, Tales from the Crypt was first presented on HBO, if I'm not mistaken. Um, or it
yes, it
could have
was.
been, I believe it was at least. So,
Yeah, I think it was. I'm not 100% sure about that though.
yep, presented by the HBO series. Yep, so it was.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was because I remember seeing the like they turn on the old TV and it static at first.
Yep,
Then the HBO comes up.
that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
old school HBO
Yeah,
thing.
it's the old school HBO.
Yeah.
But starring Billy Zane, who was actually in Charmed
Mm-hmm.
and thousands of other TV shows and movies. I mean, just a phenomenal actor. Just has that voice and the look on and the facial expressions on him. just makes him such a great actor.
And there was a character, if I'm not mistaken, in it, Cordelia. Is that
Cordelia, yes.
so that's the
Brenda Bake.
so there was a character in the show Angel Cordelia as well, and
Yes.
I don't know if it's like a reference to that at all or like a prequel to that. I don't know, but it's like the same, the good versus evil like battle, and Cordelia being involved in that was a big part of
Yeah,
Angel.
I believe has background to the name, which is why I think a lot of those type of movies, TV shows have that name in it a lot because I think it's. I mean, I could be wrong, but like ancient Egypt has that name a lot. Shit, spooky shit has that name a lot.
Yeah,
I forget what the myth behind the name is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe there is one.
well, regardless, good movie. And moving on to 13 Ghosts, which
One of my favorite movies.
known as 13 Ghosts and stylized as 13 Ghosts. Just
Yes.
like the three different like types of I guess categorizations of the name, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yes. Yes. Well, they have quite a few of one of my favorite actors in it
And
as well.
who is?
But I forget his name. I'm looking it up right this second.
Yep.
The fuck is his name? He played Shaggy in Scooby Doo. He
Oh.
was in Scream.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name?
Don't know.
Matthew.
Matthew
Matthew
Lillard.
Leonard. Lillard, yeah.
That guy, real quick, and then we'll talk about it. That guy basically said that in the Scooby Doo like live action, he basically had to scream
Scream, yes.
his voice
Was
to nothing to be able to
Yep,
have the voice of Scooby, which is like such commitment there. Like you're
it is.
ruining your voice probably for life
Yeah,
just
he
to
screamed for
play
hours.
2 movies.
Actually, he does
Oh, does he? Did he
he
take
does the
over?
voice. Yeah, he took over. What's his name? Who did it originally? Fuck. Fuck. What's his name? God damn it! Did the fucking top 10 movie music and shit like that? What the fuck was it?
That's all right. Something to look
Uh,
up. Chat,
yeah, something to look up. Yeah,
viewers,
look it up, Rust.
comment in the comments. There you go. But go ahead. All right. So 13 Ghosts.
13 Ghost. Yes, also has another great actor, Tony, and I'll probably butcher the fuck out of his
Shalhoub.
last name. Yeah. What's it? Monk, Wings, another great actor who does great work, and
Yeah.
he's actually the main focus of the movie, where his wife passes away. He has 2 kids, a nanny, and just living in a shitty little apartment. And of course, his uncle dies, leaves him the house. He goes to live in the house with the family, and all these ghosts come out and wreak havoc. Great movie,
Don't they
very
always?
bloody. Some of the best death scenes I've ever seen in the movie. So always that.
Yeah, and
I highly recommend it.
yeah, not
Casey
one.
Kasem, that's his name.
Casey Kasem. Okay. God, I'm looking him up real quick, but not a movie, not one of the movies I saw. To be honest, but
Well,
Casey
little too scary for you.
Kasem. There we go.
Casey Kasem.
American disc jockey, actor,
Yes,
personality.
and voice
First
actor.
actor to voice Norville Rogers,
Yep.
Shaggy. Still want Shaggy to be in Mortal Kombat.
Really? The fuck's he gonna do? Throw Scooby at him?
You know, Shaggy
Go get him,
would find a
Scoob!
way. Shaggy did a lot of good when in those in that series. Shaggy was the one who usually caught the killers and the
By
bad guys
accident.
anyways. But you know what? He did it.
Accident.
He did it though.
By running away and falling into it.
So if that's his power, that's his power, man. Come on,
So what's he gonna do in Mortal
dude.
Kombat? Run away
Shaggy
and
all the way. Come on. You're jealous, I know. Shaggy's,
jealous. I'm jealous of Shaggy. I'm
You
jealous
are.
of how stoned he is all the time.
Why do you think he could eat so much?
Exactly, that's my point.
Exactly. Of course, he ate freaking dog treats too. But
Yeah, no, thank you.
yeah,
I don't want no Scooby snacks. Sorry.
Now, a
Now.
classic on the next
Very
one.
big classic.
Huge classic. If you don't know this one or haven't seen it,
Go out
then
and see it
you-
right now.
for-
Stop watching this. Go see it. Then come back.
It's probably on Netflix.
Probably. I don't know what it's on.
Fucking the name Beetlejuice, released in 1988.
Yes.
Another comedic Halloween-like movie, but still a good one.
Alec Baldwin, Michael Keaton.
Yep, Catherine
What the?
O'Hara, Jeffrey
Yes.
Jones,
What's her name? What's her name? What's her name?
Gina Davis,
Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
I mean,
All-star
also,
cast,
all-star cast. Tim Burton directing.
of course.
I think he wrote it too, or helped
He
write it. No, he did not.
directed, and the story was by Michael McDowell and Larry Wilson.
Larry Wilson, yeah,
hmm
with Warren.
But of course, the famous, and we just talked about him. Literally talked about this guy before we did the podcast. Danny
Yeah,
Elfman did the music,
yes,
which
the music
him
and
and what's his face, John Williams did a lot
Williams.
of
A lot of music.
like that 70s, 80s, and 90s music that we
Yes. Well,
just know.
Danny Elfman's still doing it today.
True. John Williams did
Not as many
this.
though.
Well, more than John Williams. He did all
Yeah,
the Star Wars ones when those came out.
yeah, and
Um,
Harry Potter ones too.
hmm hmm But just
He's a
recently,
phenomenal
the new
musician.
Star Wars ones he did.
Yeah, he did it all for
And
that
he's
too.
like
Yeah, I know.
92.
Yeah, I know.
Dude's like
I know.
freaking ancient.
He'll never die.
He can't.
Eh,
Just
eh,
like what's her face?
Betty White, my
Yes,
girl.
yes, Betty White.
She's-
She's
It's gonna be
97.
some 98, I think.
I'm looking it up. You talk
Yeah,
about Beetlejuice. I'll look it
Beetlejuice,
up.
great movie. Where to start? Two a married couple, two
hmm
people, drive into town, pick some stuff up, driving home, try to swerve to miss a dog, fall in the lake, die, go back to the house soaking wet. But it takes a while for them to figure out that they're dead and what to do by how to haunt the house when these new people come in that they don't want in their house. So they call upon Beetlejuice. Juice just wreaks havoc everywhere. Michael Keaton perfectly portrays Beetlejuice. I mean, no one could have done it better. They ever remake this movie, I will protest. I will not watch it. Michael Keaton is a god in this movie. Tim Burton, master director, did some clay animation with the movie. Was really had his chops. And here's a secret: if you notice, and towards the end of the movie, when he comes up off the ground and he's like the carnival ride thing that he knocks the thing, then people go up in the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yep.
On the very top of the hat, you will see Jack Skeleton.
Really?
Yes.
I have to go back and
So
watch.
even then, Tim Burton was working on Nightmare Before Christmas movie. He was having he threw that in there as a Easter egg before the movie even came out.
Which we'll have to. I'm sure you're gonna want to bring it up for in 2 months when we do like a Christmassy holiday thing. Nightmare Before Christmas. You guys can also debate that in the comments.
Yes,
Halloween
whether it's
or
Halloween or Christmas. I
Christmas.
say Christmas movie with Halloween like, but it needs to be watched during Christmas.
It has the Christmas style, and I mean, I've saw what was that TV channel? I don't have it really cable anymore, but like ABC Family or whatever. They always did those like 25 Days of Christmas and things
No,
like that. And,
no,
like it was on
Hallmark
that.
Channel, the Hallmark Channel.
No, but it wasn't on
No,
Hallmark Channel. But
no, it
it's
wasn't.
one of
But
those that it plays during the Christmas time, so
yeah,
people
during the
can.
Christmas time.
But then people consider Die Hard a Christmas movie.
Yeah, well, it is a Christmas movie.
He's like, I don't know. Yeah.
No, it took a minute for my brain to comprehend what you fucking said. How dare you say it's not a Christmas movie?
You're gonna bring that up in 2 months.
Oh God, you damn right I am.
Mm-hmm.
The director says it's a. Well, you know what? We're getting off topic.
All right, but anyways, another classic. If you haven't seen this one, Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh God,
Uh,
all-star cast.
all-star cast, and this one about basically it's about a plant that takes over the world.
Well,
Um,
trying to take over the world.
try to take over the
It's
world.
an alien plant trying to take
Yes.
over the world.
Venus flytrap.
The Venus flytrap comes try to take over the world and wants to eat people and drink their blood, kind of like a vampire Venus flytrap.
Mm-hmm.
Starring the great Rick Morris
And Steve Martin's in it too.
and Steve Martin's
As
in
well
it.
as
Bill
Bill
Murray
Murray.
is in it. Yes, the all-star cast. I forget the woman's name.
Which one?
Audrey, whatever Audrey was. I forget the actress.
Well, Ellen Green starred in it. So,
Yes, Ellen.
most likely her. But,
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Again, another. I mean,
Another great movie, but
eh,
not scary. I mean, even my daughter could watch that movie. You know what I mean? Because it has music. It's funny. It has all the elements for a good Halloween family movie.
yeah, and another movie from a musical. So I mean, another
Yes.
job well done on,
on that front.
a famous musical and they're doing a movie right, because it's so easy
To fuck
to
that up.
fuck those up. And one that I believe, I haven't watched it in a while, but I believe is like a way they did, and again I'll mention it and move on, but Phantom of the Opera, they made that into a movie, and it like crashed and burned. But the musical of Phantom of the Opera, I think, is pretty good.
The only thing good about the Phantom of the Opera is the music alone.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, but
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next movie. I doubt you've seen it, or I'm not sure if you did. It's not really scary until the end, but it's a great movie. Ready or Not.
did not see
Um,
this one.
it's a good movie. A woman marries this guy. After the marriage, she goes to meet the rest of the family at the house, or after the wedding that they have at the house. They play a game, and it's tradition with this family. You have to play a game. You pick a card to find out what game you're going to play, and she picks hide and seek. So she's supposed to go hide, and the family's supposed to find her. Well, what she doesn't know is that the family's coming to find her to fucking kill her,
Wow.
and they have to kill her for a certain reason. I don't want to ruin the movie if you haven't seen it, so I'm not going to give away the surprise ending.
All right.
You
That
know,
sounds
but
like very thriller-like to me.
kind of, it is thriller, but I mean, it is bloody. I mean, she comes back at them hard. She does not want to die. You got to give the woman credit for that. You
So
know,
that's
great
one I'm
movie.
gonna write down, because
Yeah,
of the ones that I didn't see from this list, obviously, but because those are
yeah.
like the kind of ones that like keep you
Interested.
interested and like
Yeah,
hooked in. So
good story to it. You know, story is very well written, so and it flows well. It's not slow. I mean, every once in a blue moon and during the movie, it'll slow down for like a second or two, and you're like, then it gets right back into the story, which is phenomenal, and you get back right into it. So,
nice.
yes, highly recommend that movie, especially during around Halloween season.
We're
Good
there
movie to
already,
watch.
man.
Exactly. So start watching it.
Will do.
Alrighty, another foreign movie, Battle Royale. Believe this one's Japanese.
Yep, it's a 2000 Japanese action thriller.
Yes.
Um, and in 2009, actually, Quentin Tarantino, who's a great director,
And
uh,
also a very big thief. He likes to steal from these people.
he
But does it
praised,
masterfully. Does it masterfully. I love his work. Don't get me wrong.
of course, but he praised it as one of the best films he's seen.
Yes.
So that's probably
Yes.
why he did that. But
Yes.
continue.
Um, yeah, Japanese movie. Sort of similar to Hunger Games. I believe the Hunger Games came out around the same time. They take a
Um,
bunch of kids,
yeah.
throw them on this little island thing, and they got to kill each other. Only one's allowed to survive. Much more bloody. A lot of action in the movie. That's the only reason I make it a Halloween movie is because of the blood that is in this movie is phenomenal. Very well done. The sequence and the action is extremely well done.
Well, it's from a time where, and probably from a different country, where the levels of
Society.
society, as well as like how they rate certain aspects of a movie like blood and
Yeah,
like
different. Yeah,
differently. So I mean, but also it's tough to do it in a movie like this,
it is.
because
And do it right too.
right. I mean, Hunger Games did a fine job with the style of movie it was, but
Yeah, but they kept
it's
it down. They
right.
cut it down a lot because it's America and they like to censor shit everything.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
And
if
two, they wanted kids to see it.
right, and well, because that's kind of what people it was geared towards, young adults.
Yeah, exactly.
And but if obviously if HBO or Showtime did it, took that
Oh, it would
over
have
and
been
made
much
it,
better. Oh
oh, it'd
God,
be
yeah.
super,
It'd be
but
that. It'd be Battle Royale.
it would be battle royale. It essentially is what it would be.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So highly recommend. I like again, not a scary movie, but a good bloody movie to watch during Halloween.
yeah. Next up on the list is Crazies, which is a 2010 film.
One of my
Um,
remake.
yeah.
It is the remake, and
Oh,
the
you
remake
wanted
is
to?
better.
Yeah. One it stars Timothy Olyphant, which is
Yes,
a
one of my favorite actors.
good
Love him.
good actor.
Yes, very
Um,
good.
and Danielle Panabaker, which I believe is a semi She did Friday the 13th, I believe,
I think so.
and one of the Piranhas.
I think
And I
Piranha
believe,
3D.
yeah, and she was on Justified as well.
She
Um,
was. They met on this movie, but they went back on Justified.
yeah,
Great TV show. We'll talk about that at a different podcast
sounds
because
good.
I definitely want to get into that. Did you watch that series?
It's on my list, but
All
we'll
right, all
we'll
right.
talk about
We'll wait.
lists because it's literally, if you see my list, we'll go through my list if you want.
Yeah,
Tzar's TV series list. That could be,
and book list that will never end. That will be a whole podcast on its own.
we could do it. It could be a couple podcasts, probably part one
Right,
and two. But go ahead,
right.
Crazies, go ahead.
The Crazies, yes. Well, basically, what happens in the Crazies is something crashes in their drinking supply and turns everyone crazy. But fuck, I mean, just want to kill everything, just massively murder people. Um, Timothy is a cop trying to contain everything, trying to protect the people that he loves and his neighbors and all that, and shit just goes crazy from there. And he just acts the fuck out of this movie. I mean, he's one of the reasons why I started watching Justified in this movie. I saw him in this and saw he was in Justified. I was like, I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
So definitely watch this movie if you like. I mean, it's similar to a zombie movie, but they're not zombies. They're just fucked up in the head and want to kill him. Just want to kill any means necessary.
yeah, probably more like mentally insane, I'd say,
Mental, yeah, there you go.
than
Like in the same
zombies.
asylum.
But good movie again. One of those bloody Halloween ones that you'd be watching, but
Yes, definitely.
um,
Fear thy
under
neighbor, baby.
underrated actor, Timothy
Very underrated.
Olyphant.
I mean, just
There's
a cool guy too. I watched a lot of his what are they interviews with other people like Conan and all that, and he's just one of the nicest guys. Just
yeah.
sit there and bullshit with you. The cat's doing something crazy behind me.
I was about to pull off that thing up top next, that black, like whatever's up there, like hanging thing.
No, that. Give me a second. Let me go put the crap on my cat.
As he goes ahead and attacks the cat, excuse me. Just to remind everybody, Sandman Slim and I are both streamers. Sandman Slim streams on Monday and Wednesdays. With the occasional weekend, I stream Tuesday, Thursdays, Sundays. So check us out there if you haven't already. The podcast is obviously sponsored by ourselves because no one else will sponsor it yet.
Yet.
So
And
little advert for you guys, as maybe we'll get some official adverts in the middle of the podcast. But
if you
anytime
know
one of
anyone,
us
let us know.
anytime one of us has to step away, I figured we'll plug ourselves.
Well, while
Else.
we're plugging ourselves, all this month I am doing the charity stream for autism. Anything you do, subs, bits, whatever, all directly goes to autism. So if you do
Great,
make it out, please help.
great cause, and definitely catch the stream if you haven't. Usually a bunch of fun people in there hanging out, but couldn't have gone to a better cause for this month. So,
And we have a special guest. I haven't announced this yet at all,
oh,
but at the end of the month, as you donate and everything, we put your name in a hat for a charity giveaway. We're gonna have Piper herself come and pick the name.
oh, nice.
Yes.
That's awesome. That'd be great. Well, then that'll also probably be announced on your stream, but
Yes, I just haven't announced it yet.
little prequel for those who listen to the podcast early before Monday. So that's great. Now, to get back to the movies, we got
Back
a
to
few
the
more,
list.
and then
We got
we'll
a couple
be
more.
transitioning on. But
Yes.
this movie you love. I've not
I'll
seen it.
absolutely
You
love
showed
it.
me the first. You showed
Scene.
me the first scene of it, and
Yes.
it was interesting. But I don't
Yes.
know for me personally if I would like it enough with just because I'm big on expansion of story, terrain, like, and I don't know. Go ahead, but this one's a little
This one is called
iffy for me.
Cube. That's it. Just Cube. Cube. If you've never seen it before, go onto YouTube, type in Cube, open and scene, sit down and watch it. It's got to be my favorite opening scene of any movie I've ever seen to this date. Dude wakes up in this cube. Nothing's in there except for 6 doors. Ceiling, floor, no, all walls. Walks over to one wall, opens the door, looks through. It's a different color, but the same exact thing on the other side. So he drops down and starts walking to the other one, and the door shuts by itself. Goes to the floor, opens that one up, looks in it, and shuts the door. Same thing, just another color. Green, I think. The other one was red, that one's green. Goes to the other door on the other side, opens that up, looks through, hops through that one, looks around, starts walking, and then all you hear is boom. You see blood start pulling out of his body, and he just becomes cubed, like little pieces of cube. Just he just drops dead. Then you see this thing swing down and fold up. There are traps in rooms, so these survivors in these cubes have to figure out a way to get the hell out of that cube without dying through these traps. There's great story, phenomenal actors who are not very well known name,
Not known at
so
all,
not known at all
in my
actually.
opinion.
Yeah, no one really knows who these people were, but they did the job fantastically. You have one guy who's mentally handicapped, I guess you would say. Not mentally all there, but a genius. You have a kid who's studying math, has a head for numbers, knows a lot about math. You have a cop, you have a doctor, and you have some other dude. Just there. And these guys got to work together. They kind of snap. They've been in there for hours. They kind of go at each other. You got to see who makes it to the end.
Hmm.
It's a great movie. Phenomenal death scenes, and the twist plot is just fantastic. And I'm not going to give it away because you should watch it. Plain and simple. They made three of these movies: Cube, Cube 2, Hypercube, and Cube Zero. You can watch any of them anytime without messing up anything else. But you should watch it in order of Cube, Cube Zero, Cube 2.
Now I
That's
will
my
tell
order.
you this, which you probably won't be happy about, but I did research on this beforehand, and Cube, according to what I looked up, American Remake is currently on hold of Cube.
On
Uh,
hold?
on hold currently, but it is in development at Lionsgate.
Well, Lionsgate is the one who did the first one anyway, I believe.
Right, and a Japanese produced remake is slated
Yes,
for soon,
next
I
year, I think.
believe. I think
I think
they
it was next
delayed it
year.
to 2022.
Uh, what is it? Next year, 2022?
Well, yeah, that's what I said. Next year.
I said next year. You said 22.
I said next
Like,
year, 2022. That's what I said. Roll the
talk to the
tape.
hand. Talk to the hand.
Come on now.
But definitely watch it. It is a phenomenal movie. Watch it before the remake comes out.
If it comes out.
If it comes out. Yeah, well, we know how these. I don't see it coming out because I know the writer and the director didn't want to do another one.
Now, another one that super famous actually as of
Extremely
recently.
famous. And has two
Um,
versions.
two versions.
Two versions.
And
And is a book.
a book. And I'm very surprised, again, not to go back to DVD, but I guess the
He's
clown
not
is
in
already
there.
there. But I mean,
Yeah, but
he
not
could
that
be in
clown.
there as well. But we're talking
Yes.
about it, of course.
Stephen King's it,
Stephen
obviously.
King, phenomenal author,
Yes.
and a good movie as well.
Yes. Now, which one did you watch both of them?
No, just the first one,
No, I mean, you're talking about the miniseries or the movie?
the movie.
Okay, you never saw the miniseries with Tim
No,
Curry.
no.
Gotta watch that one.
Okay.
It's long. It is long. It's like 3 hour long, but it's four parts, so you can
Yeah,
break it up if you want to. You know
doable.
what I mean? Then it's Tim Curry. I mean, like we just said in Rocky Horror Picture Show, he's phenomenal.
Just
As
talked
him
about
as
it.
yeah, Pennywise, he just blows it out of the water. But the remake or the new make, as I like to call it, because they did something different with it. The actor for Pennywise was almost as good, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. I know other people liked him better than Tim Curry, but I like them both equally, but separately. They both did a phenomenal job in their own way with what they had.
Now my buddy can do the Pennywise
The new
voice
one,
pretty well.
yeah,
The hi Georgie.
yeah, yeah. I'll give it that his voice was a little creepier than Tim Curry's, but
Yeah.
Tim Curry did a better acting job, I think.
Okay. Fair enough.
But definitely a great Halloween movie to watch, especially if you have time on your hands. Watch the miniseries; it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now we're going on to one of my favorite series of all time. I actually named my cat after this guy. This is, of course, the Evil Dead series, which is the Evil Dead 2, and then the Army of Darkness and Ash versus the Evil Dead. My cat's name is Ash from Ashley J. Williams. Ashy Slashy.
Ashy Slashy.
Ashy Slashy. Phenomenal director Sam Raimi, who I also believe did Spider-Man movies, the three Spider-Man movies.
I believe you're correct.
Yes, I believe he did those. Um,
Yeah.
Phenomenal director and writer. Um, this movie was supposed to be a goof, not taken seriously, and they weren't really supposed to make this movie. It was just a short little story that him and his friend Bruce Campbell, who plays Ash, wanted to do for, I guess, their filming and acting classes, whatever school they went to.
Mm-hmm.
And people loved it so much that they went and did a movie about it and turned it into a huge series. Three movies and a TV show.
And you know
No
what?
matter what oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's sometimes when you're not like a lot of times when directors and writers don't think it's gonna be a big thing is when it
When
is.
it goes, yeah, exactly. I do know that they had a lot of issues with the Evil Dead filming. A lot of people got hurt, a lot of people got sick, and they thought it was cursed. A lot of stories there,
Bring a priest
backstories to
on.
read. Yes. Oh, they don't know.
Get the holy
But
water.
but Bruce Campbell is a phenomenal actor. He's funny as hell, and good action hero. Some of the greatest lines in any horror movie ever, and of course he is in Dead by Daylight. Always comes back to DVD, baby.
At least this month it does. At
Yes.
least this month. We'll try not to talk about it as much after that, but we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to depend because of the month we're in. We're in the Halloween month. God damn it!
Uh, yes, we are. So Halloween-esque like things must be talked about.
Indeed.
Oh, I almost got her.
So
All right, next one. The next two are pretty similar in story. Like, um,
well, we can combine them if you want.
yeah, I'll just talk about them real fast. I doubt you've seen either of them, so they're very not as well-known movies as most of the other movies are. But 13 Sins and Circle, two very good movies that I found on Netflix one time. I don't know if 13 Sins is on there right now or not. I know Circle is. Not sure about 13 Sins, but 13 Sins is basically about a guy who needs money, um, hurting bad, and wants to marry this girl, or is married to the girl, and they're just hurting for money. His brother is not all there, so he's trying to help his brother. His brother keeps getting in trouble. He keeps trying to bail him out, using all his money to do so. Um, Gets a phone call, so he answers the phone. Dude on the phone goes, "I'll let there's a fly. Kill the fly, and I will give you like $10,000." So he kills the fly. He gets $10,000 in his bank account right then and there. Next call comes in. Now the next challenge: eat the fly. So yeah, he eats the fly. He gets another like $20,000. And as he keeps doing these things, he has 13 of them. That's the name of the movie, 13 Sins. It keeps getting worse and worse of the things he has to do.
Well, why doesn't
And
he
I don't
just
want to give.
stop? Can't tell me. I
Then
know.
then you lose the money. No money. You stop doing it. No money.
Okay, I'll just walk away.
Well,
You
there's
want
other
me to kill
consequences.
someone? I'll walk away.
There's other consequences, but the storyline is phenomenal. It's definitely a good movie to watch if you can find it. I'm not sure what it's on. But Circle, another movie, is more alien-esque. Um, a bunch of people wake up in this big giant room. They're all standing in a circle. Um, Now they have to finally decide who lives and dies, and only one of them gets to walk out of there alive. So it's a lot of psychological, who do you trust, who can't you trust kind of thing, and they all have to decide who to kill by moving their hand.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great movie. Great story, especially to watch. Get the word for it, but trying to figure out what's the word I'm looking for. But
Like,
the human nature, like human
yeah,
nature,
yeah,
psychological thing of it's just phenomenal the way they wrote it. So definitely give that a check out.
yeah, absolutely. Now, as we transition on, we're going to be moving on to the books of
Yes,
our Halloween
Halloween.
October podcast.
Yes,
And, a bunch picked from yours truly, Mr. Sandman Slim. Big reader,
yes,
and
very big
especially
read
of
horror.
the horror genre as well. Now, the first one that you had selected, and I, did some reading up about and here and there some pages and whatnot, but reminded me of a book series. I think I mentioned it last time, but Darkness on the Edge of Town. So
Brian Nee, I believe his name is.
Keane, I believe it is,
Keane.
and reminding me of the series, the Gone series, which is a phenomenal young adult series. But residents wake up one morning in Weldon, Virginia, and the rest of the world's gone, and they're surrounded by this like inky
Darkness.
darkness wall. It's casting everything into like night, basically, right? So no
Yeah,
light, no
yeah.
people,
You
no
can't. Yeah, you can't see
electricity,
shit.
nothing. And
Nothing.
that it reminds me a lot of that. But I mean, just one of those like, what's going on? What caused
Yeah.
this? Like,
How do we get out of it?
how do you get out
Can
of
we
it?
get out of it?
Can you get out of it? And of course, in those situations, you know, it people that either want to be powerful are going to try to take over and mess with people. People who are good are going to rise up no matter what. But it's that
Yes.
again, that constant battle of good and evil that
Well, yes.
is going to come up in these situations. So
That makes these books and movies so good, is the good and evil aspect of it.
absolutely. And not
Yes.
everyone that rises up in these situations was evil before. They just maybe didn't have power
Have
because they didn't have it in their life, or they're too
yes.
young, or whatever. But
Where they were beaten down and now they see an opportunity to beat back.
exactly. So,
Yes.
but good book overall. You
Yes,
know,
phenomenal book. He's a phenomenal writer. Does a lot of his books. He lives in Pennsylvania, where I'm from. Hello.
which
And
and you've picked a couple of his.
I picked a couple of it because he does a lot of great horror book. I think he'll surpass Stephen King.
You think so?
I
Stephen
do.
King? You think he's going to surpass Stephen King?
Yes, I do.
That's a pretty big
It's a big order, I know, but
order.
I
How
think
old is
I
this
think
guy?
he's young. He's got to be around my age, maybe a little older.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty big jump to
Well,
be
think
in
about
Stephen
it.
King
But
level. It
Stephen
only
King
takes
started,
one book.
yeah, and he's got a bunch of them that are like
I
this.
gotcha.
And he's got a huge following, especially on the East Coast, since he writes a lot on the East about the East Coast,
Yeah, yeah. Which not
which you
many
don't see
people do.
very often. No,
Right.
you don't see that very
Right.
often. But Stephen King does it a lot too. Actually, he writes a lot about the East Coast because he's from Maine.
Yeah.
So, and the other book that I picked up his is Ghoul, which they're actually making into a movie.
Nice.
Yes. So another reason why I think he might be the next Stephen King is because they're turning a lot of his books into movies. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
This is basically a couple kids make a fortress underground in a graveyard and come across this ghoul-like creature that starts eating people. And I'll just leave it there because you just need to read the book to find out what happens. Or when the movie comes out, go see the movie.
Damn kids always going into graveyards and causing
Yes,
shit.
causing
Stay away
crap.
from graveyards. Come on.
Yeah, stay away from the graveyard. Not a good thing.
Let the dead rest in peace.
Yes.
Um, Dark Hollow next, right?
Dark Hollow next, or we can do the Rising next.
Dark
I think
Hollow.
we could
Let's do
just
it.
Dark Hollow. Honestly, I can't remember that one. It's been so long since I read that one.
Another Brian Keane
Yes,
novel.
I,
But
I want to look it up real
basically,
fast.
yeah, yeah, basically a struggling writer. Basically here's the sound of evil. Basically, to make it that blunt and easy,
Yeah, that's pretty much what it
changing into a
was.
living creature and basically goes all over the place causing evil shit. I sorry if that's a bad description of it, but that's
No,
as
it's pretty much
best as
damn
you
right on
can
there.
without like
Yeah,
expanding too much and ruining it. But
no, yeah, you
um,
don't want to ruin it. It's been so. That's one of the first books I read of his. I couldn't quite remember what it was about. I wrote it down. I meant to look it up again before, but I never got a chance
see,
to.
look how prepared I am for us.
No, look at you. Look at you. Never even read the book.
Know?
But the other ones I have read of his, and we'll just announce them. The Rising and City of the Dead are a two-book series. The Rising was such a huge, huge book for him. It's about zombies, and these are no ordinary zombies. These are intelligent zombies. Not only do they take over your body, but they also have access to your mind. They can use guns. They can drive the car. They can act like people you know and tell you to come, to get you to come closer to attack you. Freaky as hell. how do you survive something like that? And it's not just the humans; it was the animals, tigers, lions.
Bears, oh my.
Oh yeah, pretty much, yeah. Deer. The horses were the only ones that didn't get turned, if I remember correctly, which was weird.
Maybe because
But
they wanted to ride the horses.
maybe, maybe instead of walking, but they could drive cars. What do they need a horse for?
Well, I mean, you can't have a car everywhere.
That's true. But he wasn't planning on writing the sequel, City of the Dead. He finished The Rising and left it done. The fans of that series wanted a book so badly that they petitioned him so hard that he had nothing else to do but to write the book. And it came out perfect. He couldn't have done a better job. And that's
Good.
not easy to do.
No,
To write something you don't really want to write and make it good, not an easy thing to do.
absolutely not. I mean, and that's the trouble when it comes to. I don't think books as much because you can take more time and whatnot. More so, I
Yeah,
would
and he did,
say.
and he did, he did. He took a long time with it, but we're glad he did because it turned out a phenomenal book.
Right. But
But
like movies
he
and
didn't want to.
series and games, like TV series, I mean, like those are the ones that fall into more trouble because
Yes.
you're limited not so much in games, but you're limited by timing of what you can put
Mhm.
out because you got to cut stuff and
Budgets.
budgets, and you're also limited to like a timeline because you don't want to lose people's interests
No,
with because that's a
definitely
little
don't.
bit more different than books. I feel where
Books.
people
Yes.
books last longer, which is very weird in the genre of entertainment that books seem to last a lot longer for people and don't usually not age well. I would say they usually
Well,
stay pretty consistent for the most part. I'd say.
usually. But I'm still waiting for one book to come out, and it's been almost 20 years.
Go on.
Oh, it's a book called The War Against the Couture. The first book is A Matter for Men. It's a sci-fi aliens attacking Earth Odyssey, and he wrote 4 books. It's supposed to be a 7 book series. He's written the 5th book, but it has yet to come out.
It's
It's
been
been over 20 years.
I
20
don't
years.
I don't think you're getting that sixth and seventh
I don't think
book.
I'm getting that book.
maybe you
Or
should
the 5th.
maybe you should write it yourself.
Yeah, no,
Just get permission first, No copyright.
no, no. Phenomenal writer though. But the writer of that wrote one of my favorite Star Trek TV series of all times, Trouble for Tribbles.
Oh,
He's the one who wrote that.
really?
Yes,
See, it's so a small world with all this shit. I tell you what.
I know, right? But
Um,
talking about books,
yeah.
White Flag of the Dead series,
Hmm.
phenomenal series. Not many people know about. They call it the White Flag of the Dead because before the pandemic, when it first hit, talking about pandemic, they were supposed to put a white flag over their mailbox to show that people were sick in that house, so the authorities can come and take them away. But then shit gets out of hand. Zombies get up and start eating people, and shit goes on. Great book, awesomely written. Um, the main character in it was a principal at a school who was a gun enthusiast and has a son.
Hmm.
Wants to make sure his son's safe, so he studies everything he can to make sure he can survive the apocalypse.
One of those apocalypse nuts.
Yes, and it's a long series too. He's got a bunch of books, and all the way past after the original character died, his son takes over.
Oh,
So he
nice.
kept it going. Yeah, so I mean, great writer, kept it going for a while.
Yeah, those are always fun. Ones that like
Yes, they
last on
are.
a while. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts are because I haven't read them, but like the Tom Clancy books, those like
Yeah.
at least while he wrote them, extended for a good amount of time.
Yes, he
Like if
did.
you can
My
keep
dad
those
used to read
going,
them.
yeah. Like I'm planning on reading eventually. I started the first one, but I never finished it. I want to go back and read it again because I feel like it'd be a good not genre, but a good series to read. But
Yeah, not my cup of tea. I wasn't a fan of Tom Clancy's writing methods. I don't like the way he does it.
long,
That's just long. I don't mind
long,
long. Trust me, I don't mind long.
long.
It's just his seems to get boring.
There's I agree because
Yeah,
when I started the book, and when I say long, guys, 500 pages for this first
that's
like book, but
that's
it's
nothing.
500 pages of a small book,
Yeah,
and I'm like on
the
page
words are like this
100,
freaking
and
big.
I'm on page 100, and this isn't ruining anything, but the guy's still in the same town on page 100. It's like, can we move a
It's like,
little bit
well,
farther out? Like, come on, where's the story going here?
all right, I'll give you this. You want to try someone that's genre of books, but fast paced and a hell of a lot better?
Sure, go on.
Ice Station. Read Ice Station.
All right. I will read Ice Station eventually. But again, we got to get to the
Yes,
tease
horror.
our lists. We'll do that maybe
Yes.
next month. Well, I don't know, or the month after. But now, if you're ready,
Let's do it.
we can transition on to games.
This is all you, man.
There's a bunch of ones that I wanted to talk about. Some are single games, some are series. Of course, we have to talk about, which we can talk about first and then move on and probably not mention it for many, many months. But Dead by Daylight, great multiplayer survival game, and I've grown to like it a lot. I know a bunch of people.
But why did you grow to like it? Who got you into it?
A lot of people. I think his name was Yauja Blazer.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
But no, good series. I feel like though, from time to time, and I don't know how they're going to combat it. There's like a lot of toxicity, but I guess
there
you could
is.
say that could be in
Any
a
game.
lot of games.
Any multiplayer game, anyway.
But that's the one thing that's why I don't play a lot of multiplayer games
Yeah.
because of the toxic nature.
Well, that's why I want you to get Back for Blood, because that's not a competitive multiplayer game. It's a teammate going against AI. So I think you'd like that a little better.
Like I said, I'm saving up for it. But
Maybe I'll just gift it to you,
no, you will not.
please.
Resident Evil, freaking great series,
Yeah.
and
Also in Dead by Daylight.
well, Resident Evil came before, so
Yes, I know.
I've played a couple of the games. I know the
So have I.
storyline. I've
I know a bit about it.
I played 2 and 3, and I've played 7. I know 8 because I've watched people play it. I have to play it.
I
I know
played
4.
1. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. And the one weird one where you're 4 people against everything. I forget what it was called. Raccoon City or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird one. I liked it though.
Yeah, but 2 and 3, I mean, people like were kind of upset about 3, like saying it wasn't as good. But like to me, I played 3 recently on stream, and I thought 3 was a good continuation, sort of a continuation
Of 2. Yeah.
of 2. So I thought those 2 were amazing. 7 I thought was really good, and it took it in a completely different way. Like, well, new character and whatnot. So it's a new character, but it tied in some old ones, and it's overall I thought they did a great job with 7, which is why they had the success of 8. But a lot of people said 8 was super quick, like super quick, and I haven't played 8 to know. It's also, by the way,
I haven't either.
Resident Evil 8. Guess how much it is on Steam right now?
$60.
It's $80.
What?
$80. Really, we're getting $80 for new games now, people?
No, I won't buy that.
No, I'm like, I will wait till it drops and then I will buy Resident Evil 8, or wait for a Steam sale. There's always Steam sales.
Oh, there's always a Steam sale. Did you? Is it Resident Evil that did the Village?
Yeah, that's what it is. Resident Evil 8 Village. But
Okay.
But obviously, beginning part of it is all about the zombies attacking Raccoon City.
Yeah.
And
That I wouldn't mind playing.
And yeah, and Leon is his name, is a cop, pretty much starts, and he
Isn't he Star?
He is Star, but he pretty much is like somewhat of a brand new cop, and like imagine being thrown in and like just having to do that shit. But great gameplay. I played the remakes, and you know they were, I think, phenomenal. But overall good. That's one of those games that if they could do it right and how it should be, could be great series for like a streaming service to put on, or HBO or something. But they gotta find the right characters and the right.
Well, they already did the movies.
Yeah, and the movies all sucked. So
I wouldn't say they all sucked. The first one was pretty good.
Okay, but They didn't follow at all what was going
No,
on.
they
So
did not.
exactly.
No.
So as soon as you do that, as soon as you contradict what was set before you, you've lost me most of the time.
It was still a good movie though.
It was okay. Um, Dead Space series. Now I'm only through 2 of the Dead Space games, but the third one I heard is not as good. But
No, it's not.
I
I
will
think it's
play
a
it.
little shorter too.
I will play it because I that's who I am. I have to play the games, but
You must
um,
play Dead Space 3.
I will. Um, but Dead Space about a somewhat of like a tech miner, I guess I would kind of classify him as. Um,
See that?
is on a mission, and he's going to this like mining planet basically because there was some sort of accident there, and they find everybody dead on this like ship space station.
No.
And of course there's these oh wow, some bad rain outside. That was like crazy. This is what happens when you guys when we film.
Yeah, like the cat attacking my trash bag.
Yeah. These ghoul like alien life forms are attacking, and it's good. It's really good. 2 brought in a little bit more of a storyline and
Yeah.
whatnot. I'll be interested to see what 3 is. You've played all of them, right? But it's been a
I
while
have
since you
played.
played them,
It's
right?
been a while since I played them, but if I remember correctly, 3 is more of just. It's not much more building on the story. It's more of just another 2. It
Okay.
just goes through, and you just go through
Continuation.
it. Yeah, continuation. Not much more of a story building, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, but I will obviously be streaming that eventually. But yeah, good overall series. And then I wanted to bring in another one, and this is more of just like a one. Well, it is one game, but the Beast Inside. It's called. And it was a very nice, and it was a very good game that
That one I have
the
not played.
dancing chef recommended to me. It's good because it goes from present day to 1800s, like day and
Uh,
night,
you
basically.
streamed that, didn't you?
I streamed it, so like
Yeah,
think of it
that's
like
what I
during
remember
the
it from.
day
Yeah.
you were like one person, at night you're like back in the day his ancestor,
Yeah.
and very well done. Kind of a little bit of mystery, but it definitely has like some spooky moments to it and twists and turns, and it's not what you expect. So um, very good. And then one more I'll mention as well is
Oh,
one that I want to, and then I'll let you know if there's any that you want to bring up as well. But one
um,
that I want to bring up, which I think I want to do again, but it's so like at least the part that I was playing on so difficult was Visage, whatever you want to call it.
no.
Um, Ali FKS is playing it now, but Dancing Chef played it. I played just a little bit. Difficult ass game. You might like it. I'd like to see you play it on like maybe on Wednesdays or something, but or Mondays, whatever, either one. But
You gonna buy it for me?
maybe I will. But if you actually play it, but it's a psychological like horror type thing, and you have to be mindful of your surroundings and like where you need to go and what you have to do because like you gotta basically stay sane is part of like um the game. If you don't stay sane, you lose,
Then I
you
lost already.
die.
Then I lost already. I'm not sane. Come on now.
Okay, but in the game, not in person, so you're good. Uh, but it's a phenomenal game. But it's just the part that I went on the mission. There's I think 4 missions, and the mission that I chose was of course the hardest one to
Of
start
course
out,
you
and I
did.
had no idea. So I was like, I don't even know what to do at this point. I think I made it pretty far in it, but then I'm like, all right, I have no idea what to do. I'm gonna continue it later on. So yeah,
Go
so
finish
those
it.
were the ones. But I don't know if you had any other games that you wanted to talk
Just
about. We still got time.
just just a new one that came out, Back for Blood, zombie game that we talked about earlier. I just wanted to touch on it a little bit because I
Yeah,
actually got to play it this time.
perfect.
Um, Great game so far. I haven't got to play a lot of it yet, but I played the first act pretty much, and very, very well done. Um, You got to get these cards to help you boost you, and the difficulty gets harder and harder as you play. Zombies, the way they attack are phenomenal. I mean, one blows up and you get sick. Something shoots at you, you get stuck to the ground, and someone actually has to come and help you. And if they don't, zombies just come up and beat on you until you die.
And made by the
Um,
Left 4 Dead
Left 4
people,
Dead
and
people.
I have to say I've watched you play it and others
Yes, I
play it,
streamed it Wednesday.
and I like the fact that these. First off, the zombies are intense. It's not like
Yeah,
Resident
it's
Evil where they're just.
no,
Where, of course, there's a couple intense ones, but it's not like blah 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 blah. Except for
no,
like
it's
the big ones. Oh yeah, they're all like crazy as shit
yeah,
zombies, which
yes, they
is
are
to me,
more
um,
fun.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Left 4 Dead was like that too. They weren't. I mean, they would linger around as you come up, but once you one shot, and they're all coming for you.
Right.
One sound, and they're coming for you.
Oh yeah, they get
Just
attracted
like
by
they
that
would
shit.
in a real zombie apocalypse. That's what I love about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what that'll be. I mean, I would not be opposed to getting it, but I have to save up to get that. So, but a lot of people like it, and Left 4 Dead puts a huge plus, I would say, on
Yes.
that because of how well it did. So a lot of people are going to buy it just because of that,
Yes.
and did
Yes.
buy it for that matter.
Yes.
I will bring
I'm
up
one of them.
this as well, which is not technically, I guess you could consider it horror, but Gears of War, which if you never played it, have you played it? You know,
No,
you
I
must have
haven't.
heard about it.
I've heard about it, but never played it.
Gears of War had, in my opinion, there's 5 games of Gears of War. Well, technically 6, but
Six. Yeah, but everyone
um,
disregards that one.
yeah, I mean, because it's kind of like meh, but it's not like bad. But uh,
Uh-huh.
what a good like continuous storyline for Gears of War, I have to say. They float it so nice. It's almost movie like. Like I almost feel like Michael
That's what I
Bay
heard.
should be like
Directing it
directing
right
this
now.
movie because he goes over the top with all that like explosions and
Action and
like
everything. Yeah, but he'll ruin it
action.
just like he did Transformers.
Hell yeah. Um but if you haven't played it, phenomenal. It's a third person shooter though. So it's very like
Different.
it's different because not many you don't have many third person shooter games.
No, you don't.
Like single player games obviously.
But thinking of that one made me think of another BioShock.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another horror like
Mhm.
game that was phenomenal. I mean, I got to play it for free when PlayStation Now or Plus or whatever gave it to us for free.
Yeah.
It was very good, well written, difficult. It was a difficult game,
Mhm.
but interesting. I got to give it that, and it had some nice, good scares to it. So got to
Yeah.
give it that. Got to give a good nod to that one.
And that's one thing that Gears didn't have. Didn't have
Not a lot of
scares. It was more
scares.
so
Yeah,
just like action, which is fine.
yeah,
Action horror.
yeah.
But it was difficult at times, I'd say, like a couple of the monsters, but it wasn't as bad. And I think it got a little
Cheesy.
not cheesy, but a little bit easier in 5, I'd say.
No,
Um
I don't know. I didn't play those, so
yeah, it's good. I would say definitely give it a shot. You become invested in some of the characters and the stories, and I would recommend it. So, especially Bioshock 2. So, not Bioshock 2,
uh,
but Bioshock, the game. Let me say that. Premise that first. But,
yes.
um,
Gears of War, BioShock. If you haven't played either of them, give them a shot.
absolutely. And Resident Evil, which,
And Resident Evil,
you know,
and a quick nod to Silent Hill.
quick nod to Silent Hill. I played Silent Hill 2, which it was good, but it wasn't one that I'm like, I'm going to go out and like
Play all of them.
play all of them.
No, no.
Um,
You should play the first one.
But I'm kind of surprised that they never, which I think would have been cool. It was on the PlayStation, so maybe you played it. Was PT? You remember that? They took it off, like not right after, but probably within like
Oh,
6 to 8 months. It was the
um,
trailer for Silent Hills,
yes.
which
No, I
was
never got to
basically
play it. Wanted to.
you can go find people playing it on
Yes, I
YouTube
have.
and stuff, and
Looks good.
that would be like an amazing like if they redid something like that, I would totally
Definitely. Yeah.
give it a shot. But
Yeah.
it fell apart.
It fell apart. Well,
Um,
that's greatness always falls apart.
most of the time, but yeah. But I think if unless you have anything else, man, I think we're gonna end it.
Well, I think that's good.
All right. So once again, it's been the That's Entertainment podcast with Sandman Slim and Wing King Tzar. We both stream on Twitch weekly. Sandman being on Mondays and Wednesdays, starting around 8 p.m. Eastern, with the occasional weekend. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and Sundays, sporadically in the morning, but mostly around at night, Sunday evenings. Of course, we have our Discords and our social links, which will have a part of the description below. Or if you're listening on podcast, if you're listening on Spotify, you can of course follow us on Spotify as well, and go to YouTube.
Yes, please do.
And follow us there as well, and subscribe. Thank you very much, and we will see you all next month.
Yes.
Later.
Have a good one. Peace, love, game.